All right, so welcome everyone. We are going to get started today with a land acknowledgement. A land acknowledgement is a statement that formally recognizes the historical and continuing connection between Indigenous people and their native lands. In this spirit, we humbly make this land acknowledgement. We gather here today on Turtle Island, the Indigenous term for the North American continent. We are convening on the ancestral land of the Piscataway people in Baltimore City. We humbly offer our respects to the elders, past and present citizens of the Cedarville Band of the Piscataway Conoy, the Piscataway Indian Nation, and the Piscataway Conoy tribe, all Algonquin peoples. We've come together on the western shore of the Chesapeake Bay. The word Chesapeake is also an Algonquin word named after a nation of people who once lived near the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay in an area now called Hampton Roads, Virginia. While a land acknowledgement is not enough, it's an important social justice and decolonial practice that promotes Indigenous visibility and a reminder that we are on sacred land. Let this land acknowledgement be an opening for all of us to contemplate the ongoing struggles to resist colonial indoctrination through various Indigenous movements for identity, sovereignty, and self-determination. Thank you all for being here. That statement was created in partnership between the University of Maryland Baltimore Writing Center and Mario Harley, a member of the Piscataway Conoy Tribe Nation Council in 2019. All right, so now that we have thanked the folks that have come before us for being here, let's get into this meeting and get going. If you haven't already done so, please introduce yourself in the chat and add your pronouns to your name. Okay. All right, so what we've got on the agenda for today, we we acknowledged the land. We're going to start by introducing staff and then highlight our reopening plans, building protocol, in COVID and what that means to be here and be in the building, cover some updates about Makers Unite and community stuff and things that are going on in the shops and education, and then we'll open up for Q&A. If you have questions that come up as we're going through this, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll be monitoring the chat and take some time to come back to those. And hopefully we will get us all out of here by noon so we can enjoy our Saturdays. So we have been separate. I'm gonna let Tiersa take the floor here. Tiersa.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right, so I would like to introduce our dynamic team here at OpenWorks. We have been doing so much in the building and in our communities just to make sure that we are available and to, make sure folks know what our mission is, which is to make tools and technology and the knowledge to use them accessible to all. So with that said, we have Will Holman, who is our Executive Director. We have April Lewis, who is the Director of Community and Culture, who is also our MC for this community meeting. We also have Laura Cohen, who is our Education Director here at OpenWorks. And then we have myself, Tiersa Sullivan. I am the Office Manager here. We have Zach Adams. He's our Contract Fabrication Manager. And we have Riggs Mariotti, and he is our shop manager. So that's our leadership here at OpenWorks. And then we have our community technicians. We have Chima Nzenwachi, Dom Perry, Kenneth Bland, Jordan Ross, and Charmaine Heron. We also have our contract services technicians. That's Jeff Peck, Melvin Thomas, Zach Wade, and Whitney Young. And we would like to introduce our new staff members. We have Jamiee Shem, who's a new community technician. We have Jason Boyask, who's our another community technician, and we have Keon Pinson. He is our Makers Unite staff. He will be coming in and helping out with the Makers Unite desk that we started spearheading a couple months ago. And he was also a part of our Teen Makers program a couple years ago. So we're proud to have these folks on board.
Thank you, Tiersa. So we know that we've a lot of faces in our community are new that have come in during COVID time, and we've not actually seen each other with our whole faces uncovered. So we just wanted to help you all put some faces and names and pronouns to people that you see around the building. Feel free to introduce yourself if you're new, and help us welcome our new staff members when you see them around the building. I'm going to hand it off to Will. We're going to start on our reopening plans.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name's Will Holman. I'm the executive director here. I dropped the link to the full reopening plan in the chat. It is also available in our newsletter, on our blog, social media. I've tried to put it everywhere people find us. As of yesterday at 5 p.m., Mayor Scott lifted capacity restrictions on facilities like ours. We fall into the same category as like gyms and churches, from 25% to 50%. What this means in practicality is we can expand our hours and we can expand our class capacity. We are still keeping the overall room capacity about where it's been for safety purposes. You know, we made it through a year of the pandemic without any COVID cases amongst staff or members. So we want to make sure that we're staying safe and not kind of rushing until we know that everyone's been vaccinated. So starting this Monday, we will be open on Mondays for the first time in a year. And we will be resuming limited evening hours on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So the first half of the week will be open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And the back half of the week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, will be open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Class capacity, which has been a big pinch point for folks trying to get into the space, is going to double from 2 to 4. We're still recommending everyone use our hybrid pathway. So go to our website and check out the virtual classes tab. And on that page, you'll find a link to our teachable interface where you can take video and text-based classes in all of our shop areas. And then you come in for what we call a skill show to demonstrate your confidence in the machines, have some time with an instructor, and get signed off to work in our shops. We'll go over COVID protocols a little more later in the meeting, but basically masks and all that stuff is still required. And then the next phase we are projecting for July 1st. Now, again, we're not fully in control of this. This has got to come from city or state ordinance that we're allowed to reopen. But at the current pace of vaccinations and everything the city health commissioner and the governor has been saying, we expect that by July 1st, we'll be able to reopen with pretty much the same hours we had before the pandemic. We'll be able to go back to pretty much full shop capacity. We'll still be doing reservations, but you know, practically speaking, we rarely had more than 6 people in a shop anyway. And then we'll be able to boost class capacity up to 6 students. We also will hopefully have a new cafe tenant as of July 1st. We're Thread, our operator for the last 4.5 years. COVID has caused them to reorient their business to wholesale roasting only, and they're moving to a light industrial facility in Hamden. And we are negotiating with another coffee shop to take over the space, so more on that later. And then finally, sometime in the fall, we're pegging it at October 1st, but we're not totally sure yet. will be full reopening, no masks, full hours, monthly memberships reinstated. And I will caveat all of this by saying, again, it's got to be based on city and state ordinances. It's got to be based on science and what everyone's telling us is safe to do. So we're going to do our best to move those dates up, but only within the bounds of kind of what we believe is safe.
Thank you, Will. Tiersa, do you want to talk about building protocol? And I think you're going to walk us through some things. So I'm going to stop sharing here so that you can, so that we can pin you. All right. Are you there, Tiersa?
I am.
Okay.
It won't let me start my video though.
Huh?
It won't let me start the video.
Oh, interesting. Let me, is your camera on?
Yeah.
I
It just says it won't, you cannot start your video because the host has disabled it.
Okay.
I have the same message.
Interesting. Sorry, folks, hold on. Let me take a look at this real quick. Jeez Louise. Zoom. I love Zoom.
It's free for the most part.
It's not. Okay. Let
I
me,
can just talk about it.
yeah, how about you just talk about it, and I'm going to try and work on, let me go back to screen share because we have the slide about it.
All right.
Okay. I will figure this out.
All right. So, building protocol. So we do ask if you stay home if you are sick. If you become ill or suspect you've been in contact with someone with COVID, please self-report and stay home. This is to protect yourself and everyone else in the building, as well as in your community and your household. We are asking that everyone check in at the front desk. It is very important that we know who is coming in into our building for contact tracing purposes. And, you know, even if you're just coming in to just go into your studio, please stop by the front desk because we need to make sure that you filled out the form properly. There is a COVID screening form that we ask folks to fill out. It's 4 quick questions, but it's just to keep everyone safe. So please, even if you're just coming into your studio, please stop by the front desk. We are also asking that everyone to continue wearing a mask at all times. No one will be permitted in the building without a face mask. If there is a case where you forgot one, we do have them for sale at our store kiosk located in the lobby. And then we do ask that everyone disinfect all surfaces after use. We have sanitation stations throughout the building. In the computer labs, there are alcohol. We ask that you use the alcohol spray bottles to clean off the computers so that it doesn't damage the computers. But we do have regular disinfectant for other surfaces, as well as paper towels and hand sanitizers.
Thank you, Tiersa.
You're welcome.
So next up, we are going to talk about our Makers Unite project. I don't see Zach Adams on here. Will, would you mind giving us an update on how things are going with Makers Unite?
Yeah, no problem. Can everyone hear me okay? So on January 20th, we put out a call to Baltimore City principals to see what the need was for young scholars struggling with Zoom school for a place to work and study from home. And the response was overwhelming. In just 2.5 days, we got over 4,000 requests for desks. So Zach and our contract services team came up with this beautiful flat pack design, which goes together with just zip ties and wedges so that young people can put the desks together themselves and we can make them really efficiently on our CNC. So since then, through crowdfunding and some help from corporate sponsors like BGE, Stanley Black & Decker, and ShopBot, we have now delivered just under 250 desks and matching stools. And we've manufactured a little over 300 at this point. We are distributing them bi-weekly to school sites who then put them out to their students. Our goal is to make 1,000 desks and 1,000 stools by the end of the semester on June 15th. So we're about a quarter of the way there with 2.5 months to go. So we are using the Laguna in DFAB for this project in the mornings, usually up until 11 a.m. So far, this hasn't been a conflict with member use. The machine is still open for the majority of our open hours for member use, and we're doing the rest of the cutting in contract. And then our friends at Stanley Black & Decker and the aquarium have been cutting parts on their CNCs and donating them to the project. So feel free to ask staff questions. If you see them cutting some desks, we love to show them off. It's also, if you haven't been in the space for a while and you come downstairs and see pallets and pallets and pallets with stacks of parts and stacks of boxes, that's what that project is. This kind of follows on the heels of our successful face shield project around this time last year. It's just another way to help our community as we kind of emerge from this tough time around the pandemic.
Thank you, Will. All right. So next up, I am going to update us on things that are going on with membership. So when we had to shut down and then reopen because of COVID with limitations, we decided to, and we had to go to a day pass model, we decided to stop our monthly memberships. If you were previously a MicroStudio member, you know that you had to choose your membership level and then add on a rental option of your MicroStudios, or between 1 and 4 MicroStudios, but you had to have that membership because the monthly memberships are supposed to give you access to all the hours that were open, and we couldn't guarantee that with COVID. We sort of broke them apart, and if you're a MicroStudio member, you were only paying for your MicroStudio and using day passes to access the shop. As we move forward and we reopen and move towards having monthly membership options again, we're going to be restructuring the way that pricing works. We're right now in the process of sort of determining what those numbers look like. And we plan to have focus groups to get feedback from our community members about how to implement the restructuring and new pricing, what makes most sense, to get your feedback about, pricing and how that affects you and all that good stuff. So we would love, if you are interested to do that, if you would reach out to me or contact us. We'll get you a gift card to Sweet Green so you can order salad in the lobby one day for your time to compensate you for that. It would be greatly appreciated to get our community feedback in this process, so that we can make sure that everything that we're doing is kind of together. Other new things going on in the MicroStudio or in the membership world, we now have more member storage. So we did a revamp of the member storage area downstairs where there used to be shelves and sheet goods and stock storage. And now we have installed these metal lockers. They are 4 by 4 by, I guess, about 10 feet high, but they don't have a ceiling on them. So you can store tall things. You can fit a full sheet of plywood. Those have replaced the shelving options, and they're $85 a month, $75 a month if you were already a MicroStudio member. Though they're more space, confined, lockable, secure. So they're really awesome. If you find that your MicroStudio space is not enough, or you need to get your materials out of your way, there's a place for that now. We also have half-size units available as well, and we still have sheet goods because we've remodeled the storage room. A lot of folks have moved out, and we actually have storage. If you've been a member before, you know that member storage typically has a waiting list all the time. So if you're interested in that, now is the time. Also, we have some extra of the wooden lockers that are in the MicroStudio areas. We have about 19 of those that we'll also be renting out as well. Some opportunities that are coming up for maker entrepreneurs or business owners that are operating out of here. Made in Baltimore is launching a new accelerator program for home-based businesses. The application just opened for this. You can win up to $10,000. They take you through strategy school with Impact Hub. It is a juried process, and you'll get access to coaching and mentorship for your business and funds. It's kind of, application is free, and I think that it is open until for about a month. So I do believe you have to be a member of the Made in Baltimore, be Made in Baltimore certified to apply. So you hop over to their website. I'll drop a link into the chat to the application and also to Made in Baltimore if you're not already Made in Baltimore certified. It's just a great network to be a part of, and it doesn't cost anything. All right, Riggs, would you like to give us some shop updates?
Absolutely. So the biggest update that people will notice in the next couple of days is Cypress, one of our 60-watt lasers, is being upgraded to a 70-watt laser. It'll still operate the same, but you may notice that some of your cut times need to be adjusted so that, because it will be burning a little bit stronger than normal. So this means for some projects, you'll be able to increase the speed, go a little bit faster, and some of the lines you cut will now be a little bit bolder and more robust. So we'll have some recommended settings versus previous settings on common materials posted next to it, but we're excited to get a little more capability out of Cypress. Down the line, Cedar will probably get the same treatment, but not for at least 6 months, we imagine, if not even a year. Oh, video problem. Can I turn my video on?
I think so.
I can. Hello, everybody. Next up, we have new tools coming. Thanks to a great coordination and donation effort as part of the Makers Unite project, Stanley Black & Decker is providing us with some new hand tools. So new drills, new saws, new sanders, and other new handheld power tools will be coming to the wood shop and to DFAB. So those will all be there, fresh, nice, and efficiently working. So we're excited to see what people can do with those and just have a altogether spruced up shop. We'll also be redressing the hand tools in the coming months as well to get a more uniform and clean look to all our tool offerings in the wood shop. The next thing I wanted to talk about is with the later closing times and project cleanup responsibilities on both technicians and members. The closing times are when the building closes. That's when everybody has to be out of the building, not when projects have to stop. Technicians will be coming around the shops a half hour before the building closes. At that time, all work needs to stop in the shops. That is the time to pack up materials, clean up your workstations, vacuum up your dust. Leaving it beyond that leaves a big burden on the staff to clean up as much dust as we have, wipe down, and disinfect. So at a half hour before the building closes, all project works needs to stop. We need to ask members to please respect our staff and help them out with this. They cannot offer you extended time. At a half hour before the building closes, all projects have to stop, and that is now cleanup time. We thank you very much for helping us with this endeavor so that everybody can get out of the building on time and we can maintain a safe and sterilized workspace for everybody. And then we've also, the last item I have is our new community technicians. You will be seeing them around. That's Jamiee and Jason, and then Keon with Makers Unite. They will be coming around through the shops with me and other technicians doing some training. They're both very nice people. Please introduce yourself. Ask them about their expertise. They have lots of it. Jason specifically, you will see him quite a bit in metal along with other CTs more often than in previous. We're going to be making a big drive to offer more metal help to members and seeing how much metal tools might help people who are traditionally in wood or DFAB, and we can get some multimedia crossplay going there. But the big thing is please say hi to my new technicians. They love when people say hi. They love to be here to help out. They're all dedicated to the mission. And they want to meet you just as much. So we look forward to seeing you all, and I look forward to seeing you on the shops come Monday.
Great. Thank you, Riggs. Laura, do you want to take it away with education?
Sure. Thanks, everybody. I'm Laura Cohen. I'm the Director of Education. I'm excited that we're up and up. It's very exciting. It's getting warmer out. Shops are open. Endless possibility. So over the last year, we've had very different education than pre-pandemic. We went from kind of shutting down completely to revamping our sort of entry shop safety certification to be digital, and then using that as the hybrid method. And so that will continue. And so if you are new to the shops, go to our site and virtual learning and take the Teachable class for free before enrolling in a in-person small group session to get you checked off for the machines. And that's a really good opportunity to reinforce any knowledge, ask the instructor questions, and just have some time with the machine to really learn and feel confident and safe when using it. So those will continue, and we've expanded capacity. So that's wonderful. And then in July, we're going to add our typical safety classes back into the roster of offerings, as well as having the hybrid option. So different ways for folks to get in the building, which will be great. So yeah, in this time of being innovative and trying to figure out how to keep providing programming, we've developed virtual workshops. And so we've had a few so far, but they're virtual only. And so usually through a live Zoom platform similar to this. And so an instructor from Baltimore or maybe somewhere else will come together with a group of 10 to 15 folks and make something together. And so this is a great opportunity for you to make with a community that you can't physically be with, which is definitely something that was challenging for me during this time. Some workshops we have coming up, we're offering material kits that you can buy from our online store. And so, or you can also just go buy materials yourself. So you register for the class and then you go to the store to buy the kit. And so we have a couple coming up for young people as well as for adults. Some of the ones coming up are concrete casting, and that's for ages 15 and up. And then we have the origami fidget, which is for young folks. And so that's really exciting. And so we're looking forward to continually offering more programming and, you know, not only getting back to what we did before pandemic, but sort of coming back a little stronger and having the educational offerings that make people want to make. So that's kind of it, I think, Miss April.
Do you want to talk about?
Oh, the kits. Another thing that we did, thank you, April, is we've been doing making in place kits. And so last summer, we had a couple kits geared towards young folks. And then I put on, you know, a couple times a week, different things you could make at home, especially if you can only go to the grocery store. And we've kind of gone through a couple renditions of that and have really beautiful polished kits available for sale right now. We have shop apron kits for adults and for young people. The sizes are for adults and young people, but it's definitely for folks that have a sewing machine at home and know what they're doing. And then we have pennant flag kits coming up. And so the one that's available now is celebrating Black maker history. And so we've taken 6 of our favorite either groups or makers and created, being inspired by them to create different felt pieces that you can create your own pennant flags with. And so we have Women's Maker History one coming out soon. And so different ways that you can still make with us without being with us.
Great. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
All right. And so now it's time for community Q&A. I have fixed the video problem, so I'm going to stop sharing screen here. And you can feel free to unmute yourselves and turn your cameras on. We'd love to see your beautiful faces. All right. I'm going to pop into the chat here and see if there are any questions. Looks like we have no questions in the chat, but we'll leave a few minutes. If anybody would like any more details about the reopening plan, COVID related things, shop stuff, whatever, you've got all of our undivided attention.
It's nice to see all your faces. Except for Tiersa's, it's covered, but it's beautiful with your paisley.
Well, I feel like great that it seems like we've prepared a wonderfully informed presentation and everyone feels thoroughly updated.
Oh yeah.
All right, how about what's the pricing on the half size lockers? I believe that the half size ones are like $45 or $40 if you are a resident member. That is, I can double check though, off the top of my head. That was what that was. Give me 1 second, I'll pull that up. Can anyone confirm that? Because I can't remember.
I don't have it up at the moment.
All right, give me 1 second.
I'm just glad they're all built.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I will, yeah, I believe it's 45 and 40. We are gonna definitely send out, we will definitely send out updates of this in the newsletter and all that good stuff as well. You will see communications about it. Oh, we got Zach Adams there. Okay. Yeah. I can't find it right now, but I can follow up with you. And Will is going to post it on the social channels and newsletter. Do you need to be a monthly member for locker rental? No. So we're going to be offering the locker rental to anyone, but the rentals are for a month at a time. And those are, let me pull this up. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second and I can quote you on those accurately.
April, I just put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you, Tiersa. But the wooden lockers, did we? Hang on.
Wooden lockers has not been determined yet.
All right. So we will announce when those are all ready and available for the community to take advantage of those. Cool. Okay, so in the chat, Neil McAslin says, thanks for doing this and for easing us into being in person. Yes, thank y'all for being patient with us as we have been easing into being in person and sticking with us and supporting us. I found the virtual classes probably more efficient for safety and learning than sitting in a shop where I'd be chomping at the bit to be hands-on. Yeah. We are really excited to be able to offer different kinds of learning experiences now. And it's sometimes amazing the things that come when you're forced to try new things. Awesome. Does anybody else have anything they want to say? Do we want to just like turn our cameras on and have a dance party for 5 minutes?
I don't see any.
All
Sorry,
right.
I missed the beginning,
That's
everyone.
good. That's
to see
good.
y'all.
Yeah. Hey, Zach. All right. So it looks like we are done like 20 minutes early on a Saturday. I am going to let us all reclaim that time. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to post this on the internet, on our YouTube. If you have any questions and want to revisit, that's where you can find it. We look forward to seeing you around the building. Happy spring. Go have fun outside today. All right. Take care.
Thanks all. Look forward to seeing you.
Thanks, April.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.